What's going on, guys? Big Evil Gaming back in the bunker, locked and loaded with a new story time with Evil. So today's story is gonna be pretty fucking hilarious because this is a story of how me and my best friend Brandon, how he pranked me, and it ended up leading into almost a 3-month-long prank war. So how this all started is that I was playing football for my high school team, and I believe it was the sophomore I think it was a sophomore or junior year. It might have been the freshman. It might have been the freshman year. It's been a while, but anyway. So after practice, it was getting pretty late, and this was around October, probably the end of September, start of October. And so, I had my pads, had my helmet, slung over my shoulder, had my backpack on my other shoulder, and my friends were nice enough to wait for me. It was my buddy Brandon and his girlfriend at the time, Cassidy, who, we're all like really, really close-knit friends. They're not dating anymore, but we all still, a close-knit group of friends. So anyway, I'm walking home, and where I lived from where the high school was here. My house was clear across the other side of town on the outskirts on the last fucking street before you left town to go to another town. And I don't even fucking remember the name of the town. Because we never traveled that way. But anyway, so as I'm getting there, the only way to get to my house, there's only two ways to get to where my apartment complex was that I lived at. And the thing about the apartment complex that I lived at, it was on the last street in Owine, Iowa, 13th Street Northwest, and it was right kitty-cornered to a fucking graveyard. So what you would have to do is that you would one of the ways was to go all the way down Main Street, turn on 13th Street, and if you were, walking just like I'm sitting, you would have to turn right. And you would have to walk literally right past a graveyard at night. Now, for some weird reason, whenever I would walk past this graveyard, it felt like somebody was fucking watching me. And I don't know why, but I always got a really eerie feeling whenever I walked past it. But it was the only way I had to go home unless I took the other route, which you go halfway through Main Street, you go under the viaduct, and you come to the first road. When you get out of the viaduct, turn right, and it will lead to a curve that will straighten out and go right to the intersection where it would be a house right here that was a house, another house, a little ranch, and then the graveyard was all the way down there. And then my apartment complex would literally be like maybe 25, 30 steps. The only problem I had with this road is that it would turn past Transco, which is a place that's still open today that repairs and works on train cars, train engines, stuff like that. Only problem I had is that, once you walk past the old Tyson's building that they turned into some research plant for breast cancer or cancer of some kind, is that you would have to walk on part of the road that was surrounded by trees, and there was no street lamp. And there was an old, abandoned, decommissioned piece of shit house that was back in the woods that has been lost to time. And until you got to the intersection, there was no street light. So you were literally clad in darkness, and whatever light the moon had that night, whatever night you're walking home, it literally would be your only light to see where the hell you were going. And half the time, you'd be stumbling off and you'd be going in the woods and you wouldn't even know it. Anyway, I decided to take the curve because it was quicker. I didn't want to walk past the graveyard, and every time I walked, past the graveyard, I had an eerie feeling. Same with walking down the road, the other road, but not as much, And at least there, I was near a couple plants. and stuff like that. So the noise kind of felt a little bit better than just the eerie silence of walking past the graveyard. But my friends were nice enough to, wait for me. We were all going to hang out together, and then they were going to walk with me to my house, and then they were going to get picked up later. So we decided to go down the curved road because it was quicker, and we didn't want to, walk all the way down to the graveyard and then turn off. We figured, what the hell was the point of that when we can just do it one shot? Well, we get going down there, and it was me up front, and I'm carrying my football gear, my pads, my helmet, carrying my backpack, and then it's my friend Brandon and his girlfriend at the time, Cassidy, who's behind me. And we're walking, we're joking around, we're bullshitting, we're having a lot of fun. This son of a bitch, and Brandon, if you're watching this, just know that I love you to death, my dude, but you're a son of a bitch for this, and you know this. This piece of shit behind me has a arm of a werewolf for a Halloween costume in his bag. This bastard, knowing how frightened I am and knowing that I don't like going on this road because it feels like somebody's watching me from the woods, and I wasn't the only one that ever got that feeling. There had been hundreds of people saying it feels like somebody's watching you from the woods. This fucking asshole behind me puts on the werewolf arm, quietly sneaks up and places it on my shoulder. And I'm too tired, I don't even notice at first. And so he turns his arm like this and tickles my neck with his fingers. I'm like, what the fuck? And I had to double take because I'm like, what? And as soon as I saw that, boom, I was fucking gone. Literally at that time, I was a big kid. I was a fat dude. I'm not gonna lie, but I had a lot of power behind me. If you would have clocked me to run the 40-yard dash that day, I swear to you, it probably would have been 10 seconds flat. There was shit in my drawers, damn near. I bolted it from where the start of where the trees kind of covered the road and surrounded the road to the intersection was just a fat kid hauling ass. Just, you would have thought I did instant transmission Goku and all that shit. You would have thought I used a teleporter. I was gone. And anyway, so I'm running like hell, and I get to the end of the intersection where the street lamp is, and I'm standing under the light, and I'm just, what the fuck was that? Meanwhile, these two pieces of shit behind me are on the ground, laughing so hard they're in tears, rolling around in the street. And I'm looking, I'm looking back, and I see this damn werewolf arm that a buddy of mine's wearing, and he is just laughing so fucking hard that they're literally on the ground in tears. So anyway, I see this, and I'm like, and I yell out to him, I'm like, you're a fucking asshole! Why would you do that? His response, well, it got you home quicker, didn't it? It would have took us about 10 more minutes because you don't like this damn road. But you got close to home faster, didn't you there, Snugglepuss? Which, we joked around with each other. It's kind of that bro thing. You got to have fun with your brother. But I love him to death. But so anyway, we got to my house, and I never did forget it. And with me, I'm not about, letting shit go. I get even with people. A week later, and he tells everybody at school the next day, he's like, yeah, I scared the shit out of him. It was hilarious. I wish I would have had a camera. Anyway, a week later, I decided to go to his house, chill, because I knew, his family accepted me almost as one of their own. His sisters, I consider my sisters. He has 3 younger sisters. Brandon's like my brother that I never had, that I always wanted. Even though sometimes I know the shit out of him, but he can probably vouch for it. But, hold on, I have an idea. I'm going to see if I can call him And if I can, you guys are going to get in-depth experience on this. So let me see if I can actually call this fool. Because if I can, that would be absolutely hysterical. Alright, so I'm gonna call the dude right now. I'm gonna put him on speaker and see if he won't pick up. He could be at work. So if that's true, not gonna bother him. Yeah, he could be at work. And if that's the case, I'll just hit him up later. I'll just show him the video and he can comment or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, you're probably at work. Oh well. I love you. Should have left a message. I never do. But anyway, guys. So to add on to that, about a week later, go over to his house and I chill. And he's not there. He's out doing errands for his mom because he had a license. He had a license. And so anyway, I'm like, and I called his mom. I called his dad. And I'm like, hey ma, how you doing? What's up, pops? How you doing? And they're like, hey, how's it going, kid? What are you doing? Stuff like that. I'm like, hey, I'm just here to chill. Kind of had a pretty good day. Because I got in a lot of trouble as a kid, and that's again a story for another time. Definitely a story for another time. Is how much trouble I got as a kid. But anyway, I'm like, hey, is Brandon around? Like, I'm just thinking maybe we can go up. We can play some PS2, play some PS3. Because God, he had a lot of consoles, man. They had a lot of consoles. But she's like, no, he's doing errands. He'll be back in about 10:15. He's like, you can go up, you can play PlayStation, do whatever you want, And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I'll go up, chill his room. And my buddy in the game room, they had a couch that folded out into a bed. The bed part had been taken apart, and because I think the bed broke. And so they put plywood over where the empty hole would be that the bed would go, and they would put cushions on it. And I mean, this was like thick ass plywood. So I saw this, and I knew this, and I'm like, you know what? He's not here. I have a great idea to get his ass back. I'm gonna hide in this hole of this couch, and I'm gonna, put the plywood and the cushions over me. I'm gonna have a little bit of help, and when he gets home, he's gonna sit down. He's gonna play some games, and I'm gonna scare the shit out of him. So anyway, I take off the plywood, take off the cushions, and I get in this hole. And anyway, the oldest of his younger sisters comes in. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm gonna scare the shit out of you, brother." Cool. So I'm like, "Hey, I need some help. I'm gonna get the plywood over me. Can you put the cushions on?" It's like, "Yeah, sure." So I get in there and I get all, lay down and get all like curl into a ball as I can, and I put the plywood over me, and she throws the cushions on, and so anyway, about 10 minutes later, my buddy Brandon comes in. He bought a pizza, bought some food, bought some drinks, whatever, because he knew I was coming over. I called him. I'm like, "Yo, dude, heading over." And I kind of fibbed. I said, "Hey, man, it's gonna be a while, but like I'll be over. Just like I'll hit you up when I'm here." And it's like, "All right, cool." So anyway, so I'm staying there. He comes upstairs, and tosses the bag to the side, sits on the thing, and I'm sitting there for 3 minutes. He turns on the game, starts gaming. When everything was all casual, it was all silent, I start scratching on the plywood. And he's like, "What the fuck?" And this is all what I was told that he did. So I scratched on the plywood, and he's sitting there like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, what the hell?" He thought it was somebody outside the door. So he looks around the corner, Nobody's there. He's like, what the fuck? Doesn't pay any attention to it. He thinks it's from the game. So anyway, you know, again, about a minute later, I start, gently knocking on the plywood. Like that. He's like, what the fuck is going on? And as soon as he as soon as he like leans back and starts playing again, I push up on the plywood and I'm like, ah! Push up on it. According to his sisters, he jumped 20 feet in the air and damn near stuck to the roof and ran all the way downstairs. He didn't just go down the stairs. He flew over the fucking stairs and ran to his mom, and he's out of breath like, what the fuck, and everybody's just dying laughing, right? Anyway, I throw off the plywood and the cushions go flying. I come downstairs and I turn the corner and I go, boogity 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 boogity, and everybody's just dying laughing, and Brandon's just there. He's like, what the fuck did you do, man? What did you do? Why would you do that? And I said, now we're even, you son of a bitch. So that was the main starting point. Then as time went on, the pranks kept getting a little bit more funnier and sometimes a little bit more worse. So after I got him with that, it was about maybe 2 weeks later, I was staying over at my buddy's. It was me, my buddy Brandon, another buddy of mine, Jed, and we were all sleeping over at my buddy Brandon's house. And this was during the time where it was supposed to be the Mayan calendar's end of the world thing, where the world was supposed to end. It was supposed to basically just go kaput that day. So we decided that we were young, dumb, and full of, the saying goes, full shit. If you might have had the gutter, I know what you were thinking. But anyway, we decided we were going to stay up all night. We had our weapons at the ready: baseball bat, a rake, a rolling pin. Why, Brandon? I don't know. But anyway, we decided we were going to stay up all night. We were going to watch the destruction of the world and play some games, eat some pizza, have some fun. Well, I was really, really tired because I had football practice. So I got there late, and at the time I was already tired, so I was the one to pass out first. These two decided to draw wieners on my face in Sharpie and permanent marker. I wake up a couple hours later because I was just going to take a nap. Decided to go in the bathroom, use the bathroom. I look in the mirror and I see penis here, 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 penis here. In Sharpie. At that point, I wasn't wearing the glasses. So anywhere and everywhere they possibly could fit it, on my face they did. With little jokes like little shrimp. And yeah, it got bad. I was in the bathroom maybe 10-15 minutes scrubbing my face trying to get this off. Meanwhile, these two jackasses are standing at the door laughing their asses off. So this ensued with me retaliating. I was making some food, and anyway, Brandon was sleeping. This was a couple weeks later. I was staying at his house again. I always stayed at his house, man. Like, I don't know, it was just always so much fun at his house. My house was boring. I was that kid that never really had much. I was that poor, the kid that was like poor, like 4 or 5 generations behind. Look at me now, Look at me and Mrs. Evil now. We got Xbox One, we got the NES Classic, Super Nintendo, we got a Wii, PlayStation 2, Nintendo 64, PS4, Switch. We're not console shy here. You guys know this. But at the time, everybody had the PlayStation 2 / PlayStation 3. I think it just come out. I was still stuck back in the old fucking days, and I had a original Xbox, and a PS2. I couldn't afford it, you know. Um, and my mom was, she still is to this day. She doesn't believe in buying video games because, you know, you can't clothe yourselves in video games. You know, you can't like invest in video games. It's basically just a luxury. And at the time, you know, my mom's a single mom. My dad split when I was 12 years old. Um, that story is a pretty depressing story, but I will tell that at some point. I'm not gonna tell it right now because it's you know, this is a funny story. But you know, we had to save the money we had for necessities. You know, for clothes. You know, ass fodder. You know, butt wipe, food. Put food on the table. You know, and we always lived paycheck to paycheck. You know, every month. Because my mom got disability. She has herniated discs in her back. She has osteoarthritis. And my mom, like, she has recently, she had to get knee replacement, or she has to get knee replacement at some point because, like, her knees are bad. I love my mom to death, you know, but that's what happens when you get old. You know, your body just doesn't want to work anymore. But you know, so I was always second gen, so I always would stay over at my buddy Brandon's house. So, you know, he falls asleep, just bleh, he's done. So I decided that I was gonna go get some whipped cream, and I was gonna go get some whipped cream and do a smack cam, but I was also gonna get a bowl, put his hand in the bowl, and do the old pitch your bed trick. So, you know, I did that. Put his hand in the water, got the whipped cream, and I'm like, hey, psh, smack his face with the whipped cream. Tell me why this son of a bitch didn't even flinch, didn't even wake up. He's got whipped cream all over his damn face. I grabbed chocolate syrup, put it on his face as well. I mean, caramel, drizzled caramel on his face. I made a sundae out of this dude's face. Not once did he flinch. Not once did he even wake up. He was like, what the fuck? You know. Come around like a few hours later, though, he was pretty pissed off and started laughing. And now he's like a really late sleeper. From what I was told after that, he doesn't, like, he will not, like, go deep into sleep. Like, he'll stay, like, kind of alert and awake because of all the shit I pulled on him. Apparently, that's what he says, Brandon. And you know that's not true. God damn it. But anyway, that happened. So, that's pretty funny. And I know Brandon's going to kill me for this story, but, yeah, it just kept leading and leading and leading into bigger and better pranks. But I'm going to give you guys bonus story! And Brandon, I know you're going to kill me for this one, but I have to tell the origin story of Speedo Torpedo. My brother, my friend, if you ever watch this, just know that I love you, I care about you, but this is by far the funniest fucking story that I have in my arsenal, and I'm doing this just for comedy purposes. Know that I love you, and I always will. But please don't kick my ass because I'm telling this story, okay? It's all for the sake of comedy. I love you, and I'm probably going to call you shortly and be like, hey, like I told the Speedo Torpedo story. Like, it's in the past, Brandon. Just let it go. Let it go, okay? Because it's funny. It's fucking hysterical. It's a comedy set piece. So I'm going to fucking tell it. Because it's funny. So in middle school, in Owine, Iowa, we used to have a Olympic-sized pool in the school that has since been taken out now. It needed repairs. It needed to be fixed. A whole bunch of shit. Cost up to like $1.4 million to fix it. And Town didn't want to fucking pay for it. They didn't care. They still don't fucking care because the town's dying, from what I hear. A lot of places are closing, and it's basically almost becoming a ghost town. And there's a lot of fucked up shit that goes on in this town. Most of my stories are from this town. Anyway, in middle school for PE, we had swimming class that would be in this pool, and I'm, glad and I'm blessed enough that I got to experience a pool, because a pool was fucking awesome. But from what I know now, they cemented it, so it's not there anymore. It's just a room, a big old fucking room, which they could have, turned into classrooms for all I know. I haven't been there in a while. Anyway, so we had, we had to bring swimming trunks, stuff like that. And I had a pretty badass pair of swimming trunks. Black swimming trunks with flames, and on the side it had a red anarchy symbol, and on the left it had a skull and crossbones. Which I thought was badass. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm not big into fucking fashion, but hey, I thought it was pretty badass, man. I thought I was going to get, the girls to be like, damn, I think he's cute. Which it never did, and I was fucking stupid for it, but, what can you do? I was the outcast. What could you do? And the girls that I liked were all high society. Sorry for saying it, but it's fucking true. Some of you bitches are high society, and you need to realize that there's more things in life than money. Anyway. So we would have to do, laps in the swimming pool, and we have to see who the fastest lap was. My buddy Brandon forgot his swimming trunks. So the answer to that, according to our PE teacher, is that we have to go and find whatever's in the lost and found and use it. The only swimwear that they had was a Speedo. So anyway, my buddy's like, well, fuck, I can't just skip out on PE, I'm gonna get in trouble, and there's no other swimwear other than the Speedo, and he's like, yo, can I wear a pair of shorts, can I do something like that? He goes, yeah, swimwear, my dude, because apparently it was something with the, filtration system would get plugged or something. It was some stupid fucking bullshit. I've been in pools hundreds of times with shorts and a t-shirt, for real, dude. You're going to say that it's something with the filtration of the fucking pool that won't let you wear just a regular pair of shorts? Really, dude? But, anyway, he decides, you know what? I have no other choice. I'm going to wear the Speedo. So he puts on the Speedo, and he, walks out, and everybody's laughing at him, and I'm just looking at him in horror what the fuck are you doing, you stupid fuck? Why would you wear a banana hammock? Why would you wear a dong holder? Why would you wear a man thong, of all things? Why would you wear a cheek splitter, and why would you spread the boys in two, basically? I was cracking as many jokes as I could, try to get people to laugh. I was a comedian, I was a class clown, and, a lot of people would crack my jokes, and that's, how I got talked to some of the girls, That's how I had I didn't have a lot of girlfriends, but I had a couple, because I was a funny guy, I was a nice guy, I was cool, Anyway, and he gets in there, and he's kind of embarrassed, and I can understand, with me, I was a poor kid, I didn't have a lot of clothes, man. So, and I remember one time, me and my mom, when I was younger, I was a really troubled kid, and I was hanging around with a lot of the wrong crowds. But what I would, and this story is going to be fucking long, I know, but I would hang around with a lot of the wrong crowds, and it would usually get me into trouble, and I would start being belligerent, I would start being, just a total dickhead. And, I would be mean to my mom, me and my mom, we just never got along. We would butt heads whenever, I was living with my mom, we would always butt heads. We would always conflict about something. And ultimately, it led to me getting kicked out of the house a couple times. So I would always crash my buddy Brandon's, or, I'd always find somewhere that I could go, a place that I could crash, until I could figure out something. And, this was one of the moments, I didn't have a lot of clothes, man. I just got kicked out. My mom kicked me out because, I was being belligerent, and I can't blame her. Because if I was in the same situation, I would have done the same thing. And, I was a fucked up kid, man. It's the story. But, I had to borrow clothes from Lost and Found, so I know exactly how it is. I know how it felt. I would have been embarrassed, too. But anyway, so we're doing laps. Tell me why this motherfucker wearing a Speedo had the fastest lap in history of the pool. He's just darting back and forth like it's nothing. This dude is like an Olympic swimmer. So anyway, somebody yelled out, and we all got done, and our PE teacher, Mr. Point, I think was his name. He's saying everybody's time. Brandon's got the fast time of the whole day, and somebody rises up, is like, "Damn, he was like a Speedo," and that, as soon as I said that, ding, idea in my head, and I'm like, "We have a super," and I'm like, "Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the superhero of the school, the one, the only, Speedo Torpedo!" Everybody's dying. Brandon's just looking there like he's about to punch me. He's like, "Motherfucker, I'm gonna fucking punch you, motherfucker, why'd you fucking do that?" And at this point, everybody's laughing. And Brandon's just like, "I'm going to the fucking moon, Alice." And, I'm just doing it because it's funny. I thought it was funny. And, I thought, hey, if you could see a sense of humor in it, it'll be hilarious. Well, it was kind of our fault to begin with, because we drug it on for so fucking long, that joke. It was in middle school. We were still using that son of a bitch in high school. That was how far along we had dragged this joke. And we still do it to this day, but we do it out of love. And Brandon Bush, god damn it, I love you, my friend. You have been a stepping stone in my life. I love you to death, buddy. And please do not hurt me too much for telling that story, but it's fucking hysterical. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I've been rambling on for a long fucking time, but hopefully you guys enjoy the stories. I know this one's kind of late. I did say I was going to aim it towards 2:30, but I needed to take a nap. I was fucking tired. But here's a story for you guys. I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see you guys Tuesday for the live stream, and then I'll see you guys next Sunday for another story time with Evil. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these stories, man, because definitely you guys are killing it with that like button. You guys killing it with the comments saying, "Dude, this is scary, this is funny." Last week's story about the Canada Steam Plant Road, you guys definitely enjoyed that, so I'm hoping you guys enjoy this story, because there's a lot more where these come from, man. Definitely a lot more. And anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Go ahead and check out the rest of my videos, and be sure to check each other out too. Check each other's channels out, man. That's how our small channels grow. But anyway, guys, I'm Big Evil. Keep it locked, keep it loaded, and always remember, guys, be noticed, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys.